All right, the market just opened 3-4 minutes ago, and we have some good draws lower. We're finally out of the range from this previous week. We've come down, taken the first kind of weekly sell side liquidity, but we have a daily swing low right here, and then we also have another daily swing low, which is also a monthly fair value gap. So it makes a lot of sense to come down and rebalance this far down. ES is also selling off. NQ, higher time frame wise, is weaker than ES, so don't really care about ES too much, to be honest. ES is kind of gonna do what NQ is gonna do and kind of follow that. With this, so in a scenario now where this draw on liquidity is confirmed to me after closing the 5-minute candle below it, so whoa, why are we tripping like that? So I might honestly place a limit order right here. What is this? 2358.0.5. Yeah. Just trying to get filled, because in my mind there was a possibility to either come up to this 1 hour gap and tap it and then go lower, or just head lower right off the bat. After this 5-minute candle close, running through all these imbalances, like this is a very, very bearish 5-minute candle close below the internal low. In my opinion, it looks like it's going to be one of those days where we just run to the sell side liquidity pretty quick right off the bat. So if I can get filled for about a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and I can even move this down here to above that candle body. See, if I can get filled for about a 1-to-1 here, and then potentially add if we go lower, I'm willing to do that. Bro, that'll be tragic if we don't get tapped in by a tick. Bruh, that would be tragic if we just barely tapped into that 1 minute fair value gap and don't go any higher. But I hate how my drawings disappear when I go to the 1 minute chart.
Order filled.
All right, tapped in there. And so for all the reasonings I just laid out, we will see what happens, and willing to put risk on the table. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh this page real quick though. Yeah, I don't know why the drawings disappear, but that is a daily low. So this is a scenario where I'm kind of just playing the draw on liquidity, playing a big stop loss, and just banking on the draw on liquidity, right? I don't like this. I mean, I don't like how we just get bought back up here right on the next 5-minute candle. But I mean, regardless of what happens on this trade, it is a good trade in my opinion. So, because to me, the 5-minute candle displacement death candle below the internal lows confirms the next strong liquidity to me, right? Um, and it kind of tells me, okay, we're not going to go tap this 1 hour gap before we go lower. That's just kind of how I view the markets and how I'm viewing things. And especially when it happens on the first 5-minute candle market open, usually that's a sign that the volatility is going to just take us to the draw. And we're in a scenario here where, like, if we get a good flip on the 1 minute, kind of invert that gap and close somewhere down here, I can potentially add. But obviously that would need to happen first. All right, so we tapped the 5 here. So like if we flipped now and gave good displacement on the 1 minute, I would have confidence in adding in. So we'll see what happens. Dude, I can't lie. I'm honestly really surprised we're flipping bullish. Dude, there's no way.
Order filled.
All right, I added 1 contract. Moving stop loss down. Dude, there's no way we came that close. Hopefully we can at least go break even here. Dude, that would be crazy work if this plays out. Dude, that is crazy work. Break even. I can kind of geek out now because I'm break even. Dude, that's crazy work. I'm not gonna lie. So pulling up NQ here because ES is falling. I don't really care about a potential SMT with ES. What I care about is if NQ takes the low before the micro NQ contract does, then I'll just manually exit.
Order filled.
Dude, that is crazy work. Holy shit. Brother. That is why you place your trade, you place your stop loss, and you don't move it, and you just let the trade play out, dude. Oh my gosh, that feels amazing. That feels amazing not because of the P&L, but because of the discipline. It also feels amazing because I just took a payout, and the balance is already almost back at 2K, so that's actually huge for preserving this account right after taking the payout because I had a small buffer. But bro, this is why you enter. I told you exactly right when I entered the trade. Regardless of what happens, this is a good trade. It follows my rules. There's reasons to enter here, right? I have a reasoning to enter here and play a big stop loss and just let the trade play out and bank on my drawn liquidity. I even said mid-trade, I was confused as to why we were pumping so high. It didn't really make sense to me, right? Obviously I thought I was going to get stopped out here, but you just let the trade play out. You have a safe stop loss and you let it play out. And good things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen if you do that. So I'm jacked, bro. I'm just a great way to end the week. Payout this week and crazy discipline throughout the whole week. Only one break-even trade and then one win this week. Secured the payout. Buffer is now, we have a good buffer back again on this account, dude. Like, incredible discipline throughout this trade right here. Like, bro, this is what it's all about, dude. Oh, I'm telling you, before I started to get these payouts, I would not be able to do this right here. I would not be able to just sit here. That's what you have to do, though. You have to stack those habits. Just one by one foot in front of the other, one day after another, one day after another. And it just becomes, you start to just actually build those habits, right? The habits are built. And you don't even have to think about being disciplined. I don't even have to think about holding this trade and being disciplined. I just do it because it's a habit that I have now. And that's in my tool belt. Like, that is me. I am a disciplined trader. That is my identity, right? And disciplined traders are rewarded with success. That's what it comes down to, bro. Jeez, dude. I don't even know what else to say. That's the trade. That's the live trade. That's the market trade recap. Live trade, bro. But yeah, I stated my bias a little late, like a couple minutes after the market opened. And some people in the free Discord also caught that short. So shout out to y'all guys. But posted this 10 minutes before the market opened in the market updates channel. Finally moving out of the range. We still have good draws lower, and I basically what I told y'all, we could either come up and tap the 1 hour gap and then head lower, or we could head lower immediately. And that first 5-minute candle close below the internal lows that were already put in pre-market, strong 5-minute candle close below the internal lows that were put in pre-market. It's like, okay, the drawn liquidity is confirmed. Let me just get a safe stop loss with a 1-to-1 where I'm content with the risk. And then if price action allows me to, I can add in. And I added in once we came all the way up here and displaced lower. There's now no more reasons to continue higher. And even if you didn't catch this initial entry, like, this is a textbook rebalance to a 5-minute displaced lower. Would it have been a little sketch because we did already like kind of reject here? Yes. But in my opinion, the reason I would have probably still entered is because we sufficiently displaced past and closed below the internal low. Had we wicked this out and then rebalanced? No. But so you could have just not stood, you could have just not held through this drawdown and simply just entered here right where I ended up scaling in and added a contract. So dude, that's just just an amazing week, dude. Amazing week of discipline, staying patient, dude. I'm telling you, there's 1 to 2 days every single week where price action moves efficiently. There's good volume, and there's a good A+ trade setup presented. There hasn't been one of those days all of this week, and we get it on a Friday. Usually, if we get that 1 to 2 days of good volume, Monday through Thursday, so earlier on in the week, Friday will just typically chop around. But Friday expands. We expand on Friday when Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, majority of Thursday, all we do is range. If all we do is range for the majority of the week, then Friday can expand, right? But if we expand Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is likely to just consolidate. That's a little sauce for you. And yeah, so W trade, W live recording, and I didn't fumble the short form recording either, so I will be able to post it on my short form as well. I've kind of fumbled the last couple trades that I've taken in terms of this short form recording, so I got that recorded as well. And let me know if y'all guys caught this short right here. Obviously, The more obvious entry would be off of this displacement once we already had the rebalance. But me personally, I like to rock that big stop loss if I'm taking an entry based on the 5-minute, 15-minute candle closes. So let me know if y'all caught this win this morning, and feels great, dude. Feels great. Maybe it might be a little while before I actually get to those Lucid accounts. I'm actually probably going to go ahead and purchase the Lucid accounts here pretty soon, just so I can lock in those discounts. 40% off of Lucid. They literally just re-upped the discount promo to 5 more new accounts. So you have 5 more new accounts, you can get 40% off. Literally the best prices in all of the props, right? Same rules as Top Step. Insanely cheap, no activation fees. So if you're trading Lucid accounts, slide in code FLOW. But other than that, man, I appreciate you watching. Have a great weekend, boys. And this is the power of discipline. And so yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.